Hey guys, that MUT Gamer back here from the video, guys. Today we have my predictions for MUT 19's Rookie Premiere. Now I have another video coming out showing it, going ahead and showing what to expect, how to prepare for the MUT 19 Rookie Premiere players. But of course, in this video we're going to go ahead and take a predictions on what players might those guys be. So right here we have Saquon Barkley, of course, leading off the charge. Now this is last year's Rookie Premiere players, obviously in this year's games. But I just want to go ahead and start off looking at the upgrades and how much of an upgrade they did get. Of course, we do go ahead and have Saquon Barkley starting off right away. And if we go ahead and look at his card real fast, he did go ahead and start off with a 79 overall core elite, which of course was his Rookie Premiere player. And he got all the way up to a 98. Second guy we have here is going to be Quentin Nelson. He started off with a 79 overall again, and he went up to a 96. Our next player we have here is going to be Leighton Vander Esch. Starting off right away, he started off at a 76 overall, and he went ahead and went up to a 96. And next guy we have here is going to be Laquan Smith. He went up to a 95 overall, and he went ahead and started at 79. Next guy we have here is going to be Bradley Chubb. Starting off right away, he started off at a 79 overall, and he got up to a 94. And next guy we have here is going to be Derwin James. He started off at a 77 overall. Yeah, 77 overall, and he got up to, of course, a 94. We have Desnell Ward right here coming out, and he, of course, went ahead and started at 79, and now he's a 94. And the last three we have is Sam Darnold, who started at a 77. We have Mr. Hayden Hurst, who started at a 76. And finally, we have Calvin Ridley, who went ahead and started at a 77. And all three of those players did go ahead and get the coveted 93 overall after this whole entire year. So, if you do not know Rookie Premiere players are, I'll give you the general rundown of them. What they are is the players that you can put in this year's set. You get these cards in next year's game. They upgrade by themselves as the season progresses. As they get brand new cards, they automatically upgrade for free. That's what Rookie Premiere players are. There's 10 introduced into the game every single year. Out of those 10, obviously, are rookies from the first round of the NFL draft. So, who will we get for this year's? So again, it will most likely be the same numbers always, 10 different Rookie Premiere players. Starting off right away, I'm going to go ahead and show off the first two, and I'm just going to go ahead and talk about them a little bit. I do believe our first player will be Nick Bosa. Obviously a very, very popular name just because of the fact he is the brother of Joey Bosa. And Joey Bosa is one of the best left ends / pass rushers in the NFL. So I do expect him, with being the second overall pick, possibly could have been the first overall pick if Arizona didn't want Kyle Murray. But nonetheless, though, Nick Bosa will obviously get a Rookie Premiere player. Very, very popular. A lot of people will probably complete his set. Now, he's going to be kind of, risky, I feel like, in a way. I mean, I think he'll be a great player, but, it's definitely like he could either be a great player or the biggest bust. So, interested to see what ends up happening there. Nonetheless, Nick Bosa will probably come in number one. Now, again, with these Rookie Premiere players, for example, he'll get a 99 overall in the game, meaning that he'll get a covenant 99 and from doing his set, and then he'll get the player in the next year's copy of Madden. So, of course, this card, being plus 1 overall, he's probably not going to get too many more stats. Probably 88 speed, I would think. Maybe plus 1 speed, plus 1 to block shed. Just plus 1s all around the board. But he's going to be number 1. Number 2, I think, is going to be DeAndre Baker. Now, this guy was drafted at the 25th pick, I believe. Make sure, 30th pick. 30th pick in the NFL draft. Now, the reason why I selected this guy is strictly just because of his position. I do believe we'll get at least one defensive back, meaning either corner, safety, strong safety, or corner. Now, I do believe we'll get one guaranteed cornerback, and he's the only cornerback taken in the first round of the NFL draft. So, by process of elimination, he's the only choice I could choose for this job. In all honesty, because he is the only cornerback chosen. So, I do believe we'll get a corner like we got last year with Ward. And I literally think this will be our choice for cornerback. Nonetheless, though, if they do go ahead and avoid cornerback, obviously he will be left out. And I don't know how many people will be really that angry or upset. We did see a Giants corner as a rookie premier players. I believe it was 2 years ago with Eli Apple. Or 2 or 3 years ago with Eli Apple. So don't be surprised if we see that again. Next one we have, that's going to be 3 reviewed right now. We have Devin White, Rashard Gray, and Jonathan. I don't know how to say it. Let me see what his last name is. Jonathan Abraham. Now, of course, I do believe we'll get a strong safety. I do believe we'll get a middle linebacker or a right outside linebacker or a left outside linebacker. Now, for the right outside linebacker position, we could, of course, go ahead and get Mazel Sweat, or I don't know how to exactly say his first name, but we could get him. That definitely is an option. Or we could go ahead and get Rashard Gray. I just heard Rashard Gray, but of course we could get Sweat depending on what they end up doing. Of course, Devin White being a very popular pick. And again, looking at my man here, Jonathan Abraham, all these cards will get 99, so he'll get a pretty good stat up increase if you are running an all-Raider squad, or if you just want to use the rookie premier. Use the rookie premier players in this year's game. And of course, Rashard Gray could definitely get a card. And of course, we have Devin White, middle linebacker. So, other than Devin White, the only other option I could think of would be the other middle linebacker selected in the first round. And that, of course, would be not Devin White, but Devin Bush, who was selected by Pittsburgh. I could see them doing that just because it might be a little bit more popular of a team, more popular people completing the set. We saw TJ Watt, not this last year, but the year before that, rookie premier player. So, again, it could be, they could choose Bush over Devin White, but I do believe it'll probably be one of those 2 options. Now, looking at the offense, I do believe we will get a Kyle Murray. I do believe we're going to get Marquise Brown. Of course, he was the Baltimore Ravens' first-round pick. Hollywood Brown, I do believe we'll get him just because it's between him and the New England Patriots wide receivers in this rookie premier promo. And, of course, I don't know much about Harry, but honestly, I feel like because Brown was taken first, and because I feel like he's a little bit more popular overall, just because, he's Hollywood, he's Antonio Brown's cousin, for God's sake, I do believe we'll go ahead and get Hollywood over Harry. We could get Harry, don't get me wrong, it's always possible, but that's my personal opinion. Of course, I do believe we'll get Kyle Murray. The only other options we could get at that position for quarterback is going to go ahead and, of course, be Daniel Jones. Or Dwayne Haskins, other than Kyle Murray. I don't think we'll get Haskins, personally. Daniel Jones is not, I don't think he's guaranteed to start because they still technically have Eli Manning. I think Eli's going to kind of coach him and teach him how to play. And of course, with the Redskins, it's a crap show. It's a crap show. I don't think Haskins wasn't taken in the first round anyway. So, actually, no, he was. Yeah, he actually was. All right, so we could get those 2 guys, but I personally think Kyle Murray. I think he's the most exciting name. He's the most probable player for people to complete the set of and actually spend money on. So my guess is Kyle Murray. But of course, we could get the other 2 options. Josh Jacobs being the only running back taken in the first round kind of might be the only option for running back, just like cornerback with Mr. DeAndre right here. I kind of feel like the only option for running back is the only guy taking it. If they do go running back, has to be him. If they don't go running back, obviously they'll go to a different position. But I personally speaking, if they're going to go running back, I feel like they're going to go Josh Jacobs because he's the only option. Okay, so I do believe we'll get 1 offensive lineman at least. We might get 2 offensive linemen. We honestly might, get no running back and get 2 offensive linemen right here, which is very, very possible because I do believe we have a right guard that was drafted in this year's draft, if I am correct. Yep, we have Chris Lindenstrom, so we could get him instead of the running back, but I kind of figured, you know what, we got Saquon last year. I believe we got Leonard Fournette the year before. Chances are we're probably going to get a running back. But again, if they go ahead and go away from that position, they might go with left guard. This year we did get Quentin Nelson, so it's always possible. Or we could just get, Lindstrom instead of John Williamson. Is it Williamson? I feel like it's Williamson. It's probably not Williamson. It's Williams. Okay. I'm going to call him Williamson for the next 100 years, though. Nonetheless, though, and finally finishing this off, I do believe we'll get a tight end. We got Hayden Hurst last year, and of course, it will be TJ Hockton, blah, 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 blah. How is your actual name spelled? Hockenson. Okay, so Hockenson. And if we go ahead and real fast forward in this video off, and we take a look at rookie premier players of previous years, meaning MUT 18, you will go ahead and see exactly what I was talking about. We did go ahead and get Jamal Adams, Jonathan Allen, Garrett Bowles, wide receiver, running back, right end, tight end, cornerback. So every year it seems like we get the same similar positions. Nonetheless, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe button. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.